What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here, back with another stream. Um, yeah, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Somo, can I ask, like, why does it look like your icon is smudged? What's up with that?
Oh, I kind of did that on purpose. It was I just kind of wanted to see how it would look without the like the name slow mo backslap at the bottom, and then but like I used that little AI thingy or bobber thing,
So
so it
you
was
did
just
some
like
ghetto editing, because that's what it looks like. It looks bad, brother. Uh,
what?
it looks
I mean,
okay.
well, look, maybe some of us ain't got it like you, where we can just go to certain people and they just like before we can finish the sentence, they like, oh, here's the editing that you wanted done. It's just like
First of all, you need
know.
to update your icon. It's been about 6 years. Like,
Okay,
change your
well, I
icon.
mean, somebody make me a new icon, and until then, I'm going to use the
First of
same
all,
one.
you should pay for quality. That's the first thing I gotta say.
I do pay, but people don't want to do the work, so it's whatever. You know what? DPS. There we go.
Okay, so live talking this hi-fi rush drama. Woke Forbidden West. Do you know what's crazy? Every time I start talking about Horizon Forbidden West, I have to. It takes me a second. I'm just like, what the freak is the name of this goddamn game, dude? It's like I keep putting Horizon Forbidden Dawn, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that's not the name. Wait, Forbidden West, right? That's what his name.
Forbidden West, yes, for
Okay, Forbidden
Forbidden
West
West and
this
the Burning Shores
and
DLC.
and Galo, Galoy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Galoy.
I spell this girl's name. Aloy. Okay. Galoy. Wait a second. I don't even know how to spell this girl's name. Aloy?
There's A L O Y is her name. Aloy.
A-L. Oh, okay. A-L-O-Y. Like, sometimes the homophobes eat, man. Sometimes the homophobes, they eat, man. Like, they just come up with some things. So, Aloy.
Burning Whores. The Burning
Aloy
Whores
being
DLC.
gay and this Jonathan Majors situation ramping up. Oh, let me tell you something. I can't wait to talk shit as well about this person. It's not even that big of a deal to be talking shit, but I will be doing so. All right, what's up, Blade X? What's up, Def Lloyd saying Legion of Scum? What's up, Brain Cells on Fire saying, man, this Horizon Burning Shores DLC's fire. There isn't another game franchise out there right now that has a better blend of gameplay, graphics, and story. And then Spencer says gameplay and story is debatable. Jaguar says, what's up, Luca? What's up? What's up, Spencer? Spider-Man Arcade. I would say, of course, these things, I agree with you, Brain Cells on Fire. These things are subjective for everybody. So, what's up,
It's just that most
Lionel?
people
What's up,
think the
Phil?
story sucks and
What's up,
Aloy's
Blade X?
boring.
What's up, Max? What's up? What's up, guys? They got me call it Horizon Forbidden Awards. Horizon Zero Awards. You know what I'm saying? Horizon Snooze Fest, man. Like, we went crazy with those names. But anyway, real quick, let me talk shit. Okay. Let me talk shit, right? So I'm minding my whole ass business as per freaking usual, right? As per fucking usual, I'm minding my fucking business, right? And out of the blue, uninvited, I make a little crack joke. I make a little jokey joke. I'm just joking about. You know what I'm saying? And I say, I see some of y'all are talking about Aloy being a girl kisser, and that's cool and all. But I want to know if she finally developed a personality in Forbidden West in this Burning Shores DLC, right? And so shout out to my boy Steady Flow. Steady Flow decided to come in hot. He was all like, so which one is it, Luca? Forspoken's Frey has a personality, but it's cringy. But you claim Aloy doesn't have a personality because she's very mission focused to save the world, to make jokes. And I was like, first of all, what are you talking about? Because I didn't give any reason as to why I find Aloy boring. Okay. So you're either making assumptions or applying other people's perspectives on me, and I've said not a thing. Also, I have said multiple times that the dialogue for Forspoken doesn't bother me. I don't care. It's not that bad. If it was a CW show, I would be seated, and Frey is cute and fun. I said that. And he was like, oh, girl, my bad. Oops, my bad. I decided to apply argument for everybody else, used with everyone else. I decided to apply it to you, even though I have not seen you actually say anything. I'm just gonna apply it to you, Luke. My bad, girly pop. And I'm like, all right. Oh, and then I have like this other random person. This guy doesn't follow me. I've never had a conversation with them. No idea who this person is, right? I'm minding my whole ass business again this morning. This morning, minding my whole ass business again. And here comes this cuck. He's all like, what did I say? I said, I'd rather an honest bigot than someone pretending to be well meaning when in reality they're just uncomfortable with LGBT folks. Like, I know some of y'all are scared of being canceled, but some of the reasoning for having the issue of Aloy being gay is very illogical and it's dumb. And then this cuck is like, didn't you guys try to cancel Hogwarts Legacy? Like, I don't have a whole fucking playlist of me making fun of people trying to boycott Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I haven't been, like, I wasn't when I've been saying for 2 to 3 fucking years. I don't remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was on Weapon Wheel podcast 2 to 3 years ago, and I said I think it's dumb for people to try and boycott this stuff. Like, who cares? Like, why would anyone be upset about this? JKR, she's already rich. It's over. But this stupid motherfucker was like, didn't you guys? And this is what the issue with these people, right? Diversity of thought. Diversity of thought, non-existent when it comes to this freaking app, dude. And you know what? I will give it to them because 9 times out of 10, most people do follow the same talking points. Most people do have the same fucking rhetoric. All right, you introduce other elements to prove that they're a hypocrite, and they're like, that actually doesn't work because like 9 times out of 10. But bitch, I'm the one. Do you understand me? I'm her. Okay, which means that I'm not gonna have the same opinion as everyone fucking else when it comes to certain things. So it's like, if you want to come and accuse me of something, I'm all for it, babes. I'm all for it. Have proof. Have proof. Okay. And just be mindful.
Too many people just they engage in these mass like stereotypes and generalizing people. Anyone that has an issue with Aloy automatically is in the camp of people who have issues with like this, and this. It's just like you're gonna have to, if you don't know the person that you're about to make a snarky remark to, you might want to do just like a little bit of research before you go in. Like, go to their profile, go to the search, because then on their profile is going to search everything they've said, and then just put in Hogwarts Legacy before you decide, oh, you're just one of those people that was complaining about that without actually having any kind of like real idea whether that's true or not. It's just
exactly. Whatever. Plus, there's like no correlation between boycotting Hogwarts Legacy and talking about people being homophobic. Like, there's just no fucking correlation. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway,
that's like the different side of the aisle, right?
Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, so shout out to Spencer saying Aloy went from a cardboard to a rainbow cardboard. Shout out to her, man. I just keep saying, what's up, Luca and Panel? What's up? What's up? Okay, like, people like exactly. Autumn's like, diversity of thought doesn't exist when these people suffer from brain rot, unfortunately. Exactly. So here's the thing. Let's talk about this Horizon Forbidden West as apparently woke. First of all, here's the thing, right? I had a conversation with somebody about this, right? And like, here's again, I do think that there are many people who try to use a certain kind of language to make claims that or to try and prove that they're not bigots in one way or another. But this is what my thought process is when it comes to any sort of diversity in media, right? I prefer original characters. Okay. So Aloy is an original character in an original game, original IP. If she's gay, then she just happens to be a gay original character. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, good for them for actually making new characters for the LGBT community. And anyone who has an issue with that, it's like, well, what about we're not talking about this XYZ other aspect or other portion of whatever community, dude. Like, you know, I saw someone saying, what about the black people? I'm like, okay, they're gay black people, right? Right? You're aware of that. So what if there are gay people? Maybe they want some more representation. I don't know. Maybe they want representation just like You want representation. So you coming through and being like, well, what about the gay people? I mean, what about the black people? I mean, okay, a gay person comes through when there's a black character, is like, well, what about the gay people? Because I've actually seen that before, and everyone got on their ass about it. They're just like, what are you talking about right now?
Oh
Like, not
my
everything's
god.
about you.
Hold up real quick.
What's up?
Demons Ghost, don't ever compare Aloy to Buffy Summers ever
Buffy?
again.
First of all, do not
Y'all have
insult my
no
girl Buffy.
idea what the
Don't
heck
ever
y'all
insult her
talking
like that.
about. Like literally, when we say someone doesn't have a personality, we're talking about the lack of emotion, the lack of any kind of like interaction or having a personality response or a emotional response towards certain things. Freaking Buffy Summers. Have you ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Like, what are you talking about? Are you just basically just taking two strong women and saying, hey, she must be just like Buffy? Like, no. Like, yeah, I have to stop with this whole, well, she shows personality in the conversations. No, she doesn't. Just because she responds to questions that people ask her in the narrative tree, does that mean she has a personality? She literally does not, like, she does not actually engage in really anything that's going on, even though tons of crap is happening around her and to her. But it's just whatever. Some of you are comparing her to Jin Sakai. You see more emotion from Jin Sakai in the first 30 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima than you see from Aloy in the entire first game. The man was about to literally get himself killed against the Mongols when he woke up, when he found out his uncle was taken. Like, where is that level of emotion from Aloy? There is none. Like, just get over it. She's boring. It's okay that she's boring, but geez, don't make stuff up and don't compare her to other characters that are actually written well. Thank you.
Shout out to Stone who's been a member for 7 months saying, Luca, I got my Scum merch. I love you. I love you so much. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, Jaguar Gaming? We're saying, what's up, Stone? But yeah, so it's like, okay, yeah, so don't ever insult Buffy ever again. First of all, Buffy had a personality the first episode. Are you kidding me right now? Like, her personality shines through. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
anyway, moving on from that. But yeah, so it's just like for me, like my question was like, okay, so bump all her being gay or whatever, does this bitch finally have a personality? Because being gay is not a personality, but whatever, right? So yeah, she's got a girlfriend now or something. Apparently, the person that she's cloned from was also a lesbian, so like it makes sense that she's gay or something like that, right? That's what I was seeing on the timeline. I was like, all right, cool. I kept it moving because I was just like, honestly speaking, like, who cares, right? But there were some people who seemed to care quite a bit. Now, here's the thing. Normally, I don't typically pay um I don't pay these people any mind, especially like if you block me or I block you, it's over. Conversation done. Like, there's no point in going back and forth. Typically, I don't talk about them, right? Because it's like, what's the point? But you know what? I'm making a fucking exception this one time. I'm making an exception this one time. I'm talking about this chick who decided to make the most egregious fucking post. It wasn't that egregious in in regards to some of the things I've seen. But it was pretty bad still, in the sense that it's like she tried to play it off like she's not a huge fucking bitch, basically. And it's just like, dude, no, stand on it. Stand on your fucking your bigotry instead of trying to turn it into something it's not. Now let me see. Let's see here. I have to use Keith's terms. I called her a loser. So okay, here we go. Okay. Let's see here. Here is the post. Okay. Let me go ahead and turn myself off. And it wasn't just bots being homophobic, it was the ponies too. But yeah, so this fucking cuck over here, right? She's like, every day I feel happier that I chose the console brand that prioritizes diversity of gameplay rather than other things in their video game franchises. Xbox understands what video games are about. Mind you, is this not the fucking Xbox that has the goddamn rainbow fucking logo every single fucking June? Is that not the same Xbox? Like,
Same Xbox, yeah.
that's the same Xbox, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
that not the same fucking Xbox? Okay. Um, so she deleted that shit, turned it into something else because she got backlash. And this is what I mean when I say I would rather an honest bigot than someone trying to use like fake fucking logic in order to explain away their bigotry. If you don't like gay people, just be like, I don't fuck with gay people and keep it fucking moving. Don't be like, well, actually, because it doesn't work out because no, dude, you just don't like gay people. Keep it fucking moving, dude.
And then she tried to say that, oh, I deleted because I didn't want to show spoilers, but like it's like there's ample evidence of her, whatever this person is that runs that account, um, showing spoilers of PlayStation games in the past. So it's just like, is that really the reason?
No, it's
No,
not the
no one
reason.
thinks so.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing, like, I am someone you guys we've talked about this multiple times before. I'm someone who takes issue with automatically applying certain labels to folks. But here's the thing, again, there is literally zero logical reason to be so bothered by Aloy kissing a girl that you make multiple posts about it. There's no reason. There's not you can't use the whole there's no fucking uh there's no there's no swap in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the race baiting, I don't like race swapping, I don't like gender swapping, and I don't like sexuality swapping. We've talked about this ad nauseum before, but that's not what this is. It's just an original fucking IP that happens to give you the option to be gay. So Miles says she's only gay if you choose to make her so. Okay, that scene everyone saw has two other options: to turn it down and friend zone the gay girl, which is even better in my opinion. Like, me and Slomo have had an in-depth conversation about that in regards to like the Dragon Age series. I'm of the opinion I prefer Dragon Age 2 approach where I can romance anybody I want and everybody's essentially like bisexual. So I could be with fucking Isabella or I could be with Fenris. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a choice. Okay, no one is locked off to me. I personally prefer that approach over, say, Dragon Age Inquisition, where the characters have very set sexualities. So Dorian is gay, Sarah is a lesbian. So you can only romance them base game, not mods and stuff, if you play a guy or if you play a girl, right? Again, no issues with Dragon Age Inquisition and that choice either. Like, bitch, just play the character gender you have to play or whatever, right? But me personally, again, I just prefer the Dragon Age 2 approach where it's a choice. So I like that games give you the option to be gay. I think that's pretty dope, man. Especially if it's just like, okay, it's not overt and in your face. But here's the thing, when things are not overt and in your face, people tend to miss context clues and subtleties because apparently Aloy's always been fucking gay or had those tendencies. Is like true or
I
not?
mean,
I don't know.
she has not really like been like warm to like dudes. Like if you take like the Sun King or whatever the heck his name is from Zero Dawn, like the dude basically propositioned Aloy to be like his royal concubine. And she was just like, that's great. Don't ever ask me that again. Like, no. And like she shot him down pretty like pretty nicely, but it was like, no, that's not happening. And like I can't remember very many other like instances where she's been like close to men like that, where it would even be like a situation where there was a possibility. But I mean, I do think in regards to like the choice, I think the one difference between the Burning Shores DLC and say like your example with Dragon Age 2 is that there is the option, like you were talking about, like everyone in 2 is bisexual. Um um Aloy doesn't have that option. There isn't a dude that's like, hey, you could go this way, or you just not be with any of them. It's literally just there's this new chick, or there is no one. So even in that, it's just kind of like, well, she probably just she's probably just a lesbian, which is fine. I mean, doesn't I don't have a problem with it. No one, I don't think anyone else should have a problem with it. It doesn't, but it also doesn't change the fact that she's still boring. I mean, now she's just a boring lesbian. I mean, like, big deal. It's not that big a deal to me. Go ahead, Singer. You about to say something?
She is a boring character, and she is very plain and standard. But one question, like, I was like, haven't you lived life? How can two girls kissing upset you that badly? Have you never been clubbing before? Have you never been to a nightclub? Let me tell you, the shit you see in there, like, it's anyone can kiss. Like, I don't know how you can have a problem with it. Ayla wants to kiss the girl. Sure. Do you, boo? But how can you make it a problem? Welcome all this extra shit I see him throwing, and I'm so confused. How can you have a problem with two girls kissing? It's unfathomable that you could have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's just dumb. Like, dude, who gives a fuck? Honestly speaking, like, again, if you have an issue with it, personally, in my opinion, in this specific context, with this specific character, okay? I think if you genuinely have an issue with this, I think you need to look inward. I don't think that this is an instance in which there's like other reasoning where it's like, okay, maybe that's actually perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. And then Albert's like, what if she's asexual? I would think like, I mean, you could be asexual and still a lesbian, you know? That just means you're not interested in having sex. So, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like I think the folks on the A spectrum of the LGBTQIA, which is I'm pretty sure A is for asexual and not ally, you know? They could do with some fucking representation, you know what I'm saying? So, I there's nothing wrong with this in my opinion, and I think that and then, let me go ahead and show this off, where this is Shadow the Legacy Killer saying, boring, the love storyline is just there to push the LGBT agenda in your face, just another woke shot in the wall. Another game ruined by the gay agenda for what?
Oh no.
Mind you, what games have openly gay characters? Can you please name them?
A lot.
Let's hear them.
Oh, well, Overwatch 2. Well, Overwatch.
All the Dragon Age games.
Okay.
Yep.
All the Mass Effect games.
Yep, I was going to say the Mass Effect games. Actually, all the Pillars of Eternity games.
How many pillars
all
of
of
games are there?
2.
2. Both Divinity games. 2. Baldur's Gate. That's what, 3?
Okay.
Pretty much most
Hades.
RPGs.
Hades.
Okay. How many games with straight characters?
All of them.
All of them.
So if there's maybe 20, 30 games that have gay characters, and then how many games release a year, would you estimate?
Probably 200 or 300
100?
games a year. Probably release a year, right?
Okay. So it like, listen, I was placed in remedial math for a reason. All I'm saying is this concept, like that they're taken over or whatever. I think it's a very silly one that does not apply in this context because there's still barely any games that feature lead characters who happen to be gay. Mind you, they introduced this character as a love interest in a DLC, right? So
Right.
I'm thinking about it like oh my god, what is that studio called? Gorilla actually had like this picture back in 2018 of Aloy being on like this poster. It was like a pride poster. So I'm assuming that she was always meant to like at least be bisexual, right? Because like they had that. So there's
Yeah.
that. But
I guess I mean not towards like whether there's a problem with her being gay or not, but as far as the other character that she's kissing, I think I do understand some criticism of like the way it was handled by Gorilla. Like some people saying they should have introduced her in the main campaign in Forbidden West, and then kind of like progressed it from there instead of it like, hey, hi, new person I just met, and then they just like all over each other or
I feel that's a
whatever.
fair criticism.
I think it's pretty fair, like kind of progress it up to a certain point.
Yeah. And then Lionel's like, I wouldn't count games. I give you both options. I think that's fair. Virgil says, as a bi man, I've met a lot of asexual LGBTQ individuals. Exactly. Shout out to Life is Strange. Yes. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see here. And then we continue with, yes, this is it. PlayStation. This is what gamers want. More alphabet representation. Shout out to the alphabet gang. But enough of lesbians kissing scissor. What? Kissing scissoring when you can charge $100 and add that playable scene as a DLC. First of all, lesbians do not scissor. Let's start there. But anyway, we can just move on. Let's see here. Coppermine says, definitely the worst DLC I ever played in my life. A short, boring, and stupid main story. LGBT propaganda. I don't advise anyone to waste their time on this. This person's like, they put on a lesbian dating just to please the woke culture. Aloy never showed signs of being a lesbian. Thanks, because of that, I didn't buy the DLC and save my money. For me, the franchise died. I refuse to buy this DLC and future games in the franchise. You made Aloy gay just to please the LGBT agenda. Aloy has never shown signs of being LGBT in previous games. The story of the DLC only serves to put a new LGBT character to make a romantic pair with Aloy. So here's the thing. I would love for more. Where's the gay agenda end? You know what I'm saying? Where is it?
I would also love
Where
for this.
where is it? Because I want more. Can I get some gay agenda where the fucking lesbians don't fucking die? If I get into this goddamn bury your gays concept, let me not get into this. Okay, we can just move on. Anyway, so what I'm saying, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna need the game and the DLC on PC because I want to see what the modding community get up to with that scene. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Oh man, I can only imagine what
exactly.
what the mods and PC are gonna do with that scene.
And then all of a sudden, people in have a problem.
There may be some extra scenes added to that. The way the PC modders go.
Oh, I tell you, some of those Dragon Age mods. Woo boy. Anyway, that's another topic for another time.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. Like another thing. Not only that. Where was I going with this? I don't even remember what I was going to say. What are we talking about? Exactly, Autumn. What was I talking about?
Brain Cells on Fire said they did the same thing with Ellie by putting Riley in the DLC. I think the difference between Ellie and Aloy is that DLC was a flashback. So it was like, I mean, it was her past. So it wasn't really, and then they still continued on with her being with Dina in the second game. So
yeah, shout out to Deadbeat Dad. I'm sorry, Deadbeat Dad Ellie.
What about us? Nope, revenge. More
exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, I saw
you
this
guys
post.
didn't wait for me. Whoopsie.
Wait, real quick. I saw this post earlier where they were like, "Yeah, Joel is in heaven with Sarah," and people were like, "Heaven." He's down there with Ellie. He's playing hopscotch with Satan with Ellie down below.
Clearly, yeah. Everyone he killed along the way, giving him the stink eye.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think that's the difference because Aloy is more like this DLC is a progression of the storyline because you can't even play it unless you beat the game. So. I think it's a bit different because of the timetable.
Not only that, me and Slomo discussed this. When would Ellie reasonably have a chance to be like, by the way, Joel, I too am a girl kisser. I sort of like in between shooting this fucking bloater that's coming at us. I'm a girl kisser, man. I'm just letting you know.
Joel, you're trying to choke out that clicker. Let me tell you how I like girls. Like what? Like he's like. I don't think this is a appropriate conversation right now. I mean, I'm trying to fight for my life, but yeah.
Exactly. Like, I mean, okay. So again, like we've had multiple conversations, guys. You guys know where I stand on a lot of these topics. And in this particular instance, I personally am of the belief that there's not actually a problem. It's like whatever. Now, I did have an interesting conversation with someone where they said, like, based on what Gorilla was doing as a company, that's why he thinks it's like he thinks it's like woke or whatever, but I'm just like, okay, I get that, but
what were they doing as a company?
Like,
I don't understand.
pushing the gay agenda, man. What do you mean? But like, I said to him, I was like, I hear what you're saying, but like, this is still an original character and an original IP in a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a any sort of swap. This isn't them just making someone gay that has an original established past. This is an original character where you can choose to be gay or not, which, and again, it is a little bit weird that in this day and age that people do actually have an issue with whether or not you can like romance a guy or a girl, because like Dragon Age exists, Mass Effect exists, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've had options to be like gay and like very specific certain RPGs, but still, you get what I'm saying? And technically Horizon is technically an RPG. Technically. Like, I don't want to get into that fucking back and forth singer, but technically it's an
RPG.
No, I'm not going into. I'm just a majority. You will find most RPGs let you go whichever way you want to go. Like they just let you go wild. Like if that's your thing, Hell, sometimes you can even go the furry route. So I mean, it's whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, it's not like this isn't Geralt being like shown kissing a guy or something. Geralt has a very established sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Like, he likes he's a
got
fucking woman. He's a womanizer. Okay, he's a
He don't need no-
womanizer. All right, him. You know what? Let me talk shit about Yennefer too. Does she sleep around too? Yep, exactly. But they're old as dust, so it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, you
How can you slander
blow off
best girl
steam
like that?
somehow, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Yennefer, my
You
wife,
just got finished
mother of my
decapitating
children.
some monster. You trying to,
Hey, I need to shout
Exactly.
out the modding
trying to
community
let out your own monster.
for that opening
Whatever.
scene of The Witcher 3 when Yennefer's in the room with Geralt in the tub. Shout out to the modders.
Exactly.
Appreciate you.
Let's see here. So yeah, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Who gives a fuck? Whatever, dude. Like, you just move on from it. If you, I, and like, okay, of course, I wouldn't say this for myself because personally, if I was a company, I'd be extremely mindful on how I like, what kind of language I would use when it comes to this stuff. But me personally, since I'm not like part of that company, I said to the dude who had an issue with it, I was like, if you really have a problem with this, I like just don't support it. And that way, they lose out on a sale if anything, right? And the only way you can really get to companies is through their wallet, right? So, but like companies in general telling their customers not to buy their shit, that is a bad fucking idea. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, for Wednesday, you got to pick one. First of all, Wednesday is 15. Let's start there. Let's start there. Wednesday is 15, so let's start there.
Oh man,
Damn,
tried
to beat you. Tried to beat you.
So Yennefer. All right. So let's talk about this Hi-Fi Rush issue situation. So shout out to one of the more controversial insiders that happens to exist in this space that we live in, Mr. Grubby, Mr. Jeff Grubb. So Jeff Grubb Insider claims that Hi-Fi Rush did not make the money it needed to make. Okay, so all right, so what was the initial article? Jeff Grubb shared some sobering revelations about Hi-Fi Rush that put its shadow drop in a new light. In the latest episode of his video podcast, Jeff Grubb's Game Mess, Jeff revealed. That's how you spell his name, right? Okay. Jeff revealed that Hi-Fi Rush straight up did not make the money that it needed to make, and it got good reviews. The buzz was good. So where do you put the blame for something like that? Is it the price? Was it a shadow drop? Could have sold more, or is it Game Pass? This is something I would love to ask Xbox about, right? Obviously, it has to be said that if this is rumored true, Microsoft has likely already crunched those numbers and come to the conclusions that their own conclusions on their mistake with Hi-Fi Rush. Okay, so anyway, there was just more like
editorial.
Then Jazz was like, okay, well, what exactly determines success for an Xbox game these days? Hi-Fi Rush. What is sir, I'm not hip with the terminology. What is that? AFAIK?
As far as I know.
As far as I know. Okay. So as far as I know, has no physical version, no marketing, no multiplayer. If Xbox is pressuring ZeniMax to deliver sales of its games, maybe it shouldn't put so much emphasis on Game Pass. What's the goal here? So Mr. Aaron Greenberg, one of my favorite liars, says Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measures and expectations. We couldn't be happier with the team at Tango Gameworks. With what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. Now, here's the thing. I say one of my favorite liars because Aaron Greenberg has been a liar in the past, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, Mr. Greenberg himself, he's a hype master, but it's his job. Like, first of all, can we have a conversation about how maybe he should retire? Maybe we should have that. Can we have that conversation? We could have that conversation. Like, we could get some fresh blood in, maybe not. Perhaps.
Mhm.
Anyone? No.
Well, I mean, look, Aaron, I think the only other person at Xbox that has enough screenshots of himself being contradicted is probably Phil Spencer himself.
Yes,
And
one of my
Phil's not
favorite
going.
liars as well too.
Phil's not going to fire himself, obviously. So, it's what it is. My only issue with Aaron's statement, and like no one can disprove him. No one can say that. Oh, it's you didn't get any of your key measurements or expectations. Like, I mean, look, if he says it, cool, but you didn't tell us what any of those measurements are, what any of those expectations were. Like, typically, and I said this last night on DPS, but typically, like when a company says this game was a success, they talk about a measurable that does that. Like, oh, this game sold like 5 million copies in 3 days. People immediately go, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a success. That clearly Xbox does not value actual physical or actual unit sales the way Sony or Nintendo or any other publisher does. They value monthly active users, engagement, Game Pass subscriptions. So, what are one of those? Like, just give us one. Like, you could take one of those measurables and be like, when Hi-Fi Rush launched, we saw a uptick in usage and the percentage of people playing Game Pass and then the percentage of people getting on Game Pass increased over the next 2 weeks. Hey, considering what you consider a success, that sounds like pretty damn successful to me. But to just be like, hey, it hit all key measurements and expectations when we out of everyone, it was one of the big criticisms about Xbox is that we don't really know that kind of information because they're always very vague about like key measurables and expectations. So that's my only criticism with it. Otherwise, it's like it's whatever, bro. Like, what's he going to say? Yeah, man, it sucked. I mean, of course he's going to defend their product, defend their decisions, the shadow drop, defend the game itself and how the game did. So it is what it is.
This whole thing is weird and strange. Shout out to all the gamers that all of a sudden, can definitely say the game flopped or not, even though you don't work for Microsoft and you don't know the metrics. So, for you to come out there, jump out the window on Twitter, and even in the chat, it's like, oh, we all know it's a flop. No, that's just your bias because you probably have an agenda against.
What's their agenda? What's the anti?
They hate Xbox and everything about Xbox. It is what it is. But even Jeff Grubb clarified his own statement, which was he heard it in passing. He only hears things.
Maybe Jeff doesn't speaking on things he hears in passing. Has he ever?
Well, he does it a lot. He
half the time Jeff doesn't think that the things he says will turn into a controversy.
At this point, that he's been doing this long enough, and he's had multiple instances of people misconstruing his meaning. You would think that maybe he would be like, maybe I shouldn't say this, or maybe he would have more forethought into what he's saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because when he corrected himself, it's like, I didn't say it didn't do this. It's just what I heard, and I don't know what they measure their success on.
And but he even said that during the podcast. If people actually paid attention and watched it and didn't just like take it out of context, it was like even then he said, look, this is what I heard, but moved on with it. And it's just people just like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, so as soon as they hear that this game has flopped for definite, for sure. And I'm like, you can't be for sure because you must be stupid if you think you know for sure because you clearly don't. You're just someone on the internet who plays video games. Don't do that.
I think also what's funny is that a lot of the same people that call Jeff Grubb a fraud are loving that he
I noticed that as well. A lot of people who say Jeff Grubb is an Xbox shill. Oh yeah, he's an Xbox shill. But you all love him now, don't you?
Now he's credible.
Oh, no, he's credible. Now Jeff Grubb's the best guy on earth because he gave you some ammunition for your console war. Hey, congratulations to you guys. Also, by the way, delete your tweets criticizing Jeff Grubb for being an Xbox shill while you're there. But it was done in passing, and Aaron Greenberg put his tweet underneath it to correct it. Now, he is a liar, yes.
One of my favorite liars. Him, Jimmy Boy, and Phil Dominus
the thing is,
Jim Ryan is my favorite liar.
The thing is,
his lies are so obvious. It's
the
great.
thing is, he can say that because, and I can't argue with him. I can't argue what he said. I don't have the numbers. So if he says it's a success, I gotta go with that. What am I gonna say? It's not a success. What are you basing that on? Do you work for Microsoft? No. Do you know the financials? No. Do you know anything about what's going on over there? What they measure as success? No. So, because you don't know any of this information, you can't even argue with him about it and say, no, you're wrong. Because then that just makes you look stupid. So, it is what it is. Jeff heard something, reported on it, as he does. Like he heard there was a PlayStation event coming up. And we'll see how that goes. But, it is what it is. It's just one of those situations, and then the console warriors ran with it. So congratulations, you all played yourself.
Oh yeah.
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 People. Yeah.
Let's see here. And then we also have, shout out to my this chick here. I had a conversation with her like a couple, maybe a year ago.
That icon looks familiar.
She's the one when we had that conversation about like that Xbox ambassador chick claiming sexism or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So this is Kelly. She is the global games marketing at Xbox. Sometimes a streamer and a host. She seems very involved in Twitter. She in the sense that she responds to people a lot. In the sense that I'm talking specifically about this post, she's responded to a lot of people, right? Which is not the norm for a lot of like people when they make posts like this. But Kelly says, FYI, working gaming marketing starts before a game launches, identifying the target audiences, concept testing, that is mock reviews, key art, logo, trailers, and much more. Learn what marketing means before you critique the hard work people are doing. And I'm just like, what are you talking?
I really want to ask her a question now. I might just send her a tweet now to ask it under this. So please explain to me what all the hard work was that went into Pentiment.
Oh.
Because they didn't even tweet about Pentiment until like 2 weeks before the game came out, and it was in response to Obsidian tweeting about Pentiment. So what was did you identify the target audience and realize there wasn't one, so you just decided not to do it? What was the concept testing? What mock reviews did you do? Was your mock review saying don't bother? Where's the key art, the logo, the trailers, and all that? Because I didn't see a single freaking trailer from Xbox's account about that game whatsoever. So what are you talking about? Did you guys forget, since you didn't launch any other first party games last year, did you forget to do that for that game? Is that it? I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm with you 100% because like that was my thing. Because as I was reading this, I'm like, girl, what are you talking? Like, what are you talking about? Like, Xbox doesn't do any of this shit. Like, what do you like? I see more fucking marketing for the goddamn controllers, which sell, so it makes sense, and like fucking Taco Bell advertisements, fucking Pop-Tarts, okay, fucking dolls. All right, I see more of that shit than for their goddamn fucking games. So where's the concept? This concept testing, mock reviews, key arts. Like, what are you referring to? Because I'm just so that's why I was like, what is this tweet referring to? Like, what are you talking about exactly? So because I can know, I want to know what she means before I because I don't want to jump her or anything like that. Like, I just want to have a conversation. Anyway, let me get this right here. Shout out to Miles saying it's funny everyone jumped on the Hi-Fi Rush quote and completely ignored the bigger statement of the management being unhappy with the state of Xbox. Well, I mean, is that really a surprise statement? Let's be for real. Let's be for real here. Shout out to Sick, my boy Sycamore, big supporter saying, who's been a member for 20 months, saying, Kelly needs to do her Microsoft compliance on social media. Oh, do you think I don't think they have compliance training on social media like that, because I mean I've done compliance training on social media, but it's not normally what you'd be referring to, but maybe it's different at Microsoft. Okay, well, great points. So I did see Diablo 4 and Redfall ads on YouTube the other day. Well, there's something at least. So anyway, Hi-Fi Rush is actually fine, I guess.
Hi-Fi Rush is fine. Like, I mean, even the dudes at Tango. What was his name? The dude that's in charge now. Even said, yeah, it did great. It did great for us. So I mean, if he's saying it did great for them, he's saying it did great. Sure, it did great. I can't argue with you. So sure,
That's true. That's a good point, man.
it
All
did
right.
great. Mm.
Anything else going on in gaming? Not really, right? Anything else, Singer? For gaming?
Mm. Next week there will be.
Oh yeah.
But this week,
What's going on next week?
CMA comes in on the ABK
Oh my god. I wonder.
Wednesday, and
Okay.
you know that's going to
Jedi
be a whole
Survivor
thing.
comes out next week, right?
It does, yes. Oh, we could talk about that too.
Are you guys gonna play it?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna. Hey, shout out to my people who say subscription services, this, that, this, that, this, that. Guess what? I'm gonna up my EA Play and play a day one and beat it with the Ultimate Edition, and I'm only gonna pay 15. Look at that! You could sub-services for the win! Hooray! Cool. Right.
All right. What's up, Jack? All right. Okay. Let's talk about. Hold on. Get these. Okay. Are my channel members talking about anything related to games? Okay. Wait a second. I don't know if I want to read this, Damon, because like it has spoilers for Horizon. So, I will just say that Damon is trying to make a case for her, just saying she's very sarcastic in Zero Dawn, just like Buffy. Buffy's not just a sarcastic character though. Buffy is a lot more than that. So, real quick, Evil Dead Rise is a fantastic fucking movie, and I think you guys should definitely go and see it. It's very good, it's very fun, and I really, really enjoyed myself last night. I definitely think it's worth the check, if only, because let me tell you, it was just fun. It was just
Most Evil Dead movies are usually good.
yeah. I've actually, this is my first one. It's the first one I've seen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Check out Evil Dead 2. Actually, Evil Dead 1 and 2, the original with Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really good. As well as Army of Darkness, which is like a spin-off sequel to Evil Dead 2, which is just, it's more slapstick comedy, but it's hilarious. And it's like you'll watch it and be like, oh, so that's what that's from. Because there's so many quotables from that movie that people just say today just because it's that good and that funny. So yeah, all three of those are worth it.
Nice. Okay. Well, and then also Alyssa Sutherland, like she was just, that's Mother right there. That's Mother right there from the new Evil Dead. So I'm with it, man. She killed it. She did a fantastic job. It's a fun movie. The stuff from the Book of the Dead, that stuff is so interesting to me. In the sense that it's just very interesting imagery, very interesting concepts, and it's just a really good film. And I think with that, and also with Scream 6, horror so far this year it's just been great. And I think that if like, for me, I don't like gore, but the gore in Evil Dead Rise wasn't actually that bad. I was able to like deal with it. So I definitely think you guys should consider checking it out. It's just a fun time.
Is it considered a sequel off of the Evil Dead remake they did like 6 years ago?
No,
Or is it just more of a standalone thing?
it's a standalone. It's not a sequel at all.
Okay, cool.
All right. So let's go take a look at these channel member topics, and then we'll talk about Jonathan Majors, and then we can skedaddle. All right. So DC says, when is it a good time to announce a game, and when is it too early? For example, Xbox has a whole bunch of games they've announced, but we've seen nothing for a long time. While with PlayStation, they will usually only announce things coming within a 2-year window. Which one do you prefer, and do you want either company to change strategies? So here's the thing. Xbox actually does release or announce games for a 12-month window, but they've been delaying their games, which is why it doesn't seem like that, right? I take, for instance, Starfield and Redfall. I personally am of the mind that if the game is Anthem is an example of what to not do, okay? Because that what they
Mhm.
showed for Anthem for that during that E3 wasn't even what the game ended up being. So if they
It
don't
wasn't even
have,
a game.
it wasn't even a game. So that is like a bad time to announce a game. Also, if I see another fucking like another fucking Dread Wolf concept, if I see another goddamn Dread Wolf concept without any official fucking gameplay, I'm going to choke the motherfuckers at BioWare out, okay? I'm tired. That game is not coming out anytime soon. I'm tired of seeing this shit, man. So, anyway.
I would say probably 3 years. I think 3 years is a good time period to start from launch. Your first trailer kind of shows people the concept of what the game is. I don't like straight teaser trailers where I don't know what's like. For example, what's that that the Just Cause devs are doing for Xbox, Contraband. Like I have no idea what that game is because they just show like a panning shot, a CG trailer in a garage, and I'm just like, is it a racer? Am I fixing trucks? Like, what am I doing in this game? Like, that's not like worth it at that point. If it's so early that you can't show me anything else at all like that, don't bother. But if like I say 3 years out, you got a trailer, I know what the concept is. I can see the characters. I might, I can kind of like see myself playing with one of these characters. Then I can also see some snippets of gameplay in there as well. Bet like that can get someone's attention. And then the next year, you could then show the actual game, like more gameplay. You could actually give us a better idea what the game design is. And then the last year should be just basically the whole rollout of everything about the game, its design, its characters, the world, all that stuff. Like I think a 3 year time period is good to be able to do that. Anything more than that, and you get into that territory where Ubisoft got into, where they were show games too far in advance, and then some ideas about the game they couldn't actually deliver on, so they ended up having to cut them. But there were things that people saw and they really liked, and then they were just like, oh wait, you cut the drone out of Division 1, I like that. You cut the big holographic map, that I like that. Like then people say, oh, you downgrade the game when you do that. Or another great example is Watch Dogs 1. How what they did had with that game compared to what it turned out to be, very very different. Cyberpunk, they showed 45 minutes of you doing like bullet time stuff, climbing up on walls with spears coming out of your forearms, cutscenes that were in third person perspective where you could actually see your character V. None of that stuff made it into the actual game. They showed it too early. So it's like you got to show it at a point where you know for certain the stuff that is going to be in the game or things that are going to actually be there. Because if you're going around here marketing something and then it shows up and it's not there, that's false advertisement.
Yeah. Damn, let me go see Evil Dead Rise again. But yeah, I'm with everything that you just said, my boy. Because it is ridiculous that they would do stuff like that. And it's just like, especially that Cyberpunk gameplay, that 45-minute game. I remember watching that shit with All Day, and me and All Day were like, Shout out
Like,
to
are
the
you
homie All Day.
sure you're
Like,
gonna be able to do
I
this?
don't know about this,
And turned out it was another fake out.
Yeah. Shout out to Yobi, who's been a member for 23 months, saying peace, love, life, Luca. Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Yobi, for always being so supportive.
What's up,
Okay.
Yobi?
Let's see here. Brandon says, "Hey, Luca, and panel this week has been tough as an Xbox gamer. Our community this week, Brandon, just this week. Okay, our community is not happy, and we feel slighted as owners that we are second-class citizens. That's not the language I would use, but okay. I'm not happy with the leadership of Xbox. The lack of marketing for the console, first-party AAA games missing. The dashboard still is not improved." You spitting right now. Square Enix abandoning Xbox and third-party games, skipping the platform. My plan this gen was to use Xbox as my primary console for console for first and third party games with Game Pass helping. However, I might change it up and start buying more third party games on PlayStation. Why should I keep investing in Xbox consoles when Microsoft is greedy and only cares about PC, cloud, and mobile? I subscribed with Ultimate Game Pass until August 2025. What more can I do? I did my part investing in their ecosystem. I bought their Elite controllers, their headsets, storage expansion cards, overpriced that is. When will Xbox invest into their console experience again? Whew.
Once this ABK deal's done.
Shut off, dude.
Stop,
You know, cut
Senior,
it out.
please.
Cut it out.
Haven't you noticed, right?
They're not changing anything that Brandon just complained about after this deal is up. You know that.
They might change one thing though.
What?
They're
not changing nothing. No, the stuff that he's complaining about, he feels like a second class citizen. They care more about PC, cloud, and mobile. When the ABK deal is done, all those games that are coming out from ABK will still get same level of priority for PC, cloud, and mobile. Right. Brandon wants to know why on Redfall he's got to play the game at 30 frames per second, but on PC they're getting it at 60. You know, that's what he's complaining about.
I mean and he's right to say so.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is right to say so, but it's also on the people making the game. They made it 30. Like, I don't think anyone mandated them to make it 30. The team chose 30 because reasons.
Did they really choose 30?
I mean,
or was it the only frame rate they could launch it at right now because they don't have enough time?
Well, was it always going to be 30? I don't know.
No. The game has been marketed as 60 frames per second. Everything that you've seen coming from Xbox, Bethesda, Arcane has been the game running on the PC at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, that's the PC. That's not the console.
But even the Xbox version on the store page had 60 frames per second tag.
Yeah, but you notice they removed that, Brandon.
That doesn't matter. You already. This is what I said before about how you market a game before you launch it.
Yes, it's the marketing is the issue.
You already marketed the game and already showed the game at 60 frames per second. You weeks before the game comes out, you say, "Oh, whoopsie, never mind. That's 60. That's going to come later on." So the experience the experience that we've been presenting you all this time is not going to be the experience that you're getting at launch.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's on the management.
Yeah, it's on the management.
We all know this.
The management is also is they're sabotaging this game because if people don't play it at launch and people say, "Oh, whatever," I'm just going to wait for it for the 60 FPS patch. If the 60 FPS patch was going to be a few weeks later, they would just launch it later in May. I mean, that's not that big a deal, right? Clearly, it's not going to be a few weeks. It's definitely going to be a few months. If you start looking at like 2, 3, 4 months down the road, are people really going to play Redfall at that point once they finally get the 60 FPS patch? When you're going up against Spider-Man 2, Starfield, another COD, all these other games that are coming out later this year, they're not playing Redfall at that point.
Absolutely not. But
so
like one of
they're kind of screwed.
So you're saying there is not one thing on there they could remedy out of his complaints?
They're not changing any of that stuff. They can't make Square Enix drop games on Xbox. They would love for them to do that if they won't. First party AAA games missing. They've been trying to remedy that, but Matt Booty is releasing on average the same number of games that Phil Spencer released when he had that job with three times as less studios. So you got that issue. They're not going to prioritize Xbox over PC, cloud, and mobile. It's just not going to happen because even with everything we know now about how like PC Game Pass has 15 million subscribers. That's the only segment that's growing. It's stagnant on Xbox. Why would they then reverse things and then make it stagnant on PC to help on Xbox where they're getting the same amount of stuff that the PC people are getting, but they're just not growing? None of this stuff is going to change with ABK.
Okay, so if I could just like shout out to my boy Jay Bari, who's been a member of the channel for a long time as well. Shout out to you, my boy, saying, bless up. He gifted 5 TheAshenLuca memberships, so I really do appreciate it. For Gregor, Cassie,
Shout out to Bari.
Spencer, Samurai Black, and Blue Mustang, please say thank you to Jay Bari and take the opportunity to participate in the next month and submit topics for the show that you might be interested in us discussing. All right. So let's see here. Thank you, Bari. I appreciate you, my boy. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna read this. It contains spoilers for Horizon Zero Dawn. Mama read it. So just okay. Aloy was devastated about the death of Ross in the massacre of the Proving. She argued with most every patriarchal figurehead in Zero Dawn. There must have been hundreds of lines for her. She commented on everything. She doesn't shut up. She's very sarcastic in Zero Dawn, just like Buffy. Um, the little I've played of Horizon Zero Dawn, I would not compare her to Buffy because Buffy has more character than just being sarcastic.
Yeah,
Significantly more character.
way
So
more character. She's also funny. She also can show empathy for other people. And and look, just there's no comparison. Like I
she
look,
also
he's subject to feel what he feels, but I don't think he's ever actually watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
there's also
Kidding apart.
I'll give examples when Buffy died after season 1. She came back in season 2, and because she was dealing with the trauma of dying, she was acting like a major fucking bitch. Do you remember that?
Hmm.
Just being a major bitch to Xander and Willow, and it was out of character for her to behave that way, but she was trying to push them away because she was so messed up from the experience. She was so hurt about it, and she had that entire summer of just being on her own essentially. She went back home, but home to the other part of California, that is. And so at least that I think that's where she went, right?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, so she went back to where she came from before because she didn't originally live in Sunnydale. She moved because she became a Slayer. And then, mind you, Buffy's personality changed significantly from who she was before she became a Slayer versus who she was as a Slayer. You know what I'm saying? Buffy gets a ton of character development throughout the entirety of that show. And so, even her character from season 1 to season 2 is different. And then, they knock some fucking sense into her and she gets back on track. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
all the
and
things
she's
that happen with
drastically
Angel.
different from like seasons 5 to 7, like
Exactly.
completely different, almost like a different person,
She
honestly.
is. She is a different, especially after it's from 5 to 6. She's a different person. From 6 to 7, she's a different person. Um, I would say she was the most consistent character wise 3 and 4. And that's only because in 2, like she lost Angel, so she changed after that. So,
Hmm.
um, all right. Snowfall series finale. Smitty wants to talk about that.
Oh man, we can
It's
do
Sanders
that.
with an X, by the way. Damon. So, uh, I am actually going to start watching Snowfall. I've not seen it
Oh,
before.
you're gonna love it. I
Yeah,
think I
I'm in
think
for
you
a
I think
treat.
you'll really love it. Snowfall is probably one of the best TV shows that's come out in the past decade, I think. And of course, like a lot of people may look at it, think it's kind of cliche because just talking about like it's the drug game in the 80s and yada 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 and black people, but it really gets into some like real stuff, and the actors are amazing. Damson Idris is a star in the making. The show's great, and I think the finale. There's been a lot of debate about the finale. I'm not, because you're gonna watch it. I don't want to
I've seen
like
the
ruin
finale.
it. You watched the whole thing?
No, I've seen like I see what happens to him.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, I mean, for those that have watched it, like there's some people who think like that wasn't realistic, but that absolutely was realistic. There are kingpins out there who are winos on the corner now, like the people who had all this power and they got betrayed by the people around them. They lost everything, but through their own addictions, their own issues, and they ended up basically like nothing. So it's just like I don't know, like people were upset because he didn't end up getting shot up or in jail or something. It's just crazy. So whatever. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good ending. I
yes,
thought
I should
the
check
the
it out.
show the show it has it's an amazing show. In most shows of that level of quality don't end well. Like they usually do a Game of Thrones where the last season bombs, or Dexter, or what's the one that we like with the cop, the guy that plays in The Boys, Luca.
Banshee?
Banshee, yes. Where it's like most shows that have like are really really good, they bomb their final season. And I think like Snowfall's final season is actually really good. So that's my opinion on it.
So, real quick, let's see here. Damon's Go said he watched it during syndication, but it's been years since I saw it. Me and Soma watch Buffy every single year. we watch every we watch Buffy every single fucking year. So, like that's where I'm coming from. I'm like I am a Buffy aficionado at this point. Like I should have fucking taken the goddamn class. But there's an option for me to take a Buffy the Vampire Slayer class in college. I should have fucking did that shit.
Wow,
What a
there was a
waste.
class on it. Dang.
Yeah.
It was kind of a pioneering. Like people will look at it now and be like, "Oh, that's kind of tropey," but like they created the trope. Like it's the big bad, the trope of the big bad. Like that was created in Buffy. Like there's so much about that show. I watched that show when it was live, like when back it was called the WB and not the CW, and it was then at that point I think it was like the only predominantly white people show that was on the CW. Everything else was like the Wayans brothers and Sister Sister and stuff like that.
WB though.
Say what?
It would have been the WB though, right?
Yeah,
Not
it
CW.
was the WB. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
was
said
WB.
CW before. When
No,
it,
no, I said before it became the CW.
no, I'm saying like before it was the CW, it was WB, and that's where it had the more predominantly black people,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And you
yeah.
said it had the predominantly black people with the CW, so I was just clarifying.
Oh, okay, yeah. I meant the other way around.
Mhm.
Anyway, no, it's I remember watching it when it was first coming out, and it was like some people shied away from it because it was like they remembered the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was very campy and kind of like low budget, but like the show had like this underlying quality to it that was like no one else was doing at that time. And the entire format of this kind of like superhuman hero backed up by a team of like regular people, but they were like that hero squad that supported that person and kept that person, like literally like the reason why Buffy was successful as a
Mhm.
actual character, as a slayer, wasn't
Mhm.
because she was like the best slayer ever and the best fighter. It's
She
because
had a support system.
she had a support system that other slayers didn't have. It wasn't designed that way. They had
Shout out to
one
Kendra.
watcher and that's it, and that watcher usually ended up dead with them. So it's like it's the whole concept. You see it now with other shows where literally every superhero show has a superhero with a support system team with them, and because they got that exact same concept from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Jonathan Majors. So here's the um so I went through the timeline and I'm looking for our tweets. I went through or our DMs, that is. I went
Mm-hmm.
through the timeline for TMZ. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that's missing, I need the timestamps for when she was actually out and about. Um,
Oh, and the pictures
mhm,
of her in the club and everything.
yeah, because basically the timeline is this, right? So I'll catch you guys up. Jonathan Majors, actor, he was in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He was just in Creed 3. 3 weeks ago, was accused of assaulting his girlfriend and is being has charges pressed against him, and he's got like a court case coming up in like May. Um, let's see here. Jonathan Major's lawyer, she came out, she released some text messages where she was like, these are going to exonerate him because it was the his girlfriend talking about how she was not like trying to press charges against John. But some of the rhetoric that was used, some of the language that was used in the text messages, for some people read as like language that domestic abuse victims have used before. So people are like, we're not vibing with it. Then they went silent, essentially, right? So let's see here. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm actually looking. Does this? Oh,
Well,
these pictures are kind of blurry too. But I guess I'll assume that this is her. Yeah. Did you look at them closely?
I did. I did. I can't really tell. I mean, look, they say it's her, whatever, right? It does look like her, but I mean, whatever. The timeline is that like
Oh
she
yeah, we
was
can
in
go
a
through it.
taxi with him at like what was it, 11 p.m.
Yeah, no,
Right?
no. Well, I'll go through it here. So okay, let's see here. Um, she was in a taxi with him. I'm just gonna recall this from memory because it's not stating it here. She was with him in a taxi around 1 a.m. They got into an argument. She was hitting him. That's according to the cab driver. And
Hmm.
then let's see here. Then he was
He left.
arrested.
He told the cab driver, "Let me out here," and he left her. Right?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
okay, let's see here. So these are some pictures for her at a hotel. These are the pictures they're using. I don't did it blow up in my screen? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, they're saying this is her right here, and this is at 2:33 a.m., and then this is her here. That's what they're saying for 3 a.m. And they're claiming, let's see here. She told the police that Majors grabbed her hand and slapped her when she confronted him about the alleged infidelity. She sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area to hospital in stable condition. However, Major's lawyer claims that these newly released security cam footage shows the officers clearly coaching her on what to say here, but it's just a screenshot. They're not showing the
The actual
the audio.
video. Yeah.
Let's see here. So essentially, the timeline is this. Um, they got into an argument around 1 a.m. She was hitting him, according to the cab driver, around that time. Let me pull up the TMZ stuff. Actually, TMZ.
There was also something that that they were saying that she called Majors 32
32 times.
times
Yes.
and sent several angry texts claiming of infidelity and threatening suicide, which that last part, like,
Would you say that your previous trauma?
yes,
Okay, just like how
absolutely
hold on, hold
told.
on. Just
Mhm.
like how those people who've been in domestic abuse situations, previous traumas may be informing their situation, their thought process on certain things.
I will absolutely
Okay.
admit that
Okay.
that happening to me before, women doing that to me before, and knowing they were trying to manipulate me, and them also being very like cagey with the truth themselves, kind of like infers my opinion about this entire situation. But uh, that doesn't change the fact that people who do things like that are definitely trying to manipulate the person that they're saying that to. Like,
100%.
yeah,
And I do agree with that. Just like again, like how some people who have been abused, they took those text messages and they applied their own situation to it, even though that may not 100% be what's actually happening here. Or it could be what's
agreed,
happening here, just like with you,
agreed.
right?
Right,
So
right.
around 1 a.m., that's when she attempted to steal his phone. The cab driver says that he will testify that Majors never struck the alleged victim in any way or any time or raised his voice. Um, Majors and his attorney also claim that the driver saw her hitting and scratching John and attacking John. The woman allegedly told police that she suffered a broken bone and a laceration behind her ear during the altercation, which would have been around 1 a.m., right? However, in the document, Chaudhry says that they have proof that this is a complete lie because she was out at this club, which we saw at the timestamps for the New York Post. This is around 2:30 and this is around 3. And she says they have hours of security video showing the woman went clubbing after the fight, the alleged fight, right? She also texted him, accusing him of infidelity and threatening to off herself. As for what happened while she was at the club, Major's court filings include screenshots of security footage showing the woman freely using her right hand, which she claimed that Major's injured. In the video, they say she casually pushes her hair behind her ear, reaches into her bag several times, sorts through credit cards, handles phones, holds out a menu, easily holds a glass of champagne. They say she was seen partying pretty hard, throwing back shots and champagne with friends without any visible sign of injury. When her night out at the club was over, they claim she showed up at Major's house around 3:20, that is, a.m., entered his apartment, called him 32 times, and sent several angry, jealous text messages. Majors was not home when she was there. Majors got home around 11 a.m., found her unconscious and half naked on his floor. She also discovered that she threw up on his bed and told him she'd taken several sleeping pills, right? Majors called 911, claims that when paramedics arrived, the woman repeatedly told them, I don't know, when they asked what happened to her. This is her with the cops around 11:48. In the documents, Chaudhry claims body cam footage shows police interviewing the woman and clearly coaching her to say that Majors grabbed her by the throat. Chaudhry claims the alleged victim never made the claim to anyone prior to the officer's direction. Majors was arrested March 25th and charged with misdemeanor assault, aggravated harassment, attempted assault, and harassment. Okay. So this is what's happening. His PR firm and his management team have already dropped him, and the U.S. Army yanked a popular recruiting commercial starring Majors. They need to release this shit. Like, okay, of course they're waiting for the court date to come up. That's in like 2-3 weeks or so. They need to release this shit because the things I've seen people saying, especially after this. So I saw this post on Twitter where this person, even like with this evidence here that casts doubt on what she had said and the validity of the situation and whether or not he actually attacked her, in my opinion, this person was all like, oh, this is ridiculous. Have you not ever heard of the concept of the imperfect victim or whatever? Or, and I'm just kind of like, bro, brother, like,
yeah, even she isn't saying that this happened. Like, even she is not like pursuing this. So it's like, this isn't the situation of like, just like throwing a hypothetical out there. A woman gets raped and then people try to character assassinate the woman that was raped by saying, oh, she was asking for it. That kind of stupid nonsense. Like, that's not even like the same. This isn't the same kind of situation at all. It's like, it's not that whatsoever. This is literally like the state of New York going after him, regardless of what his ex-girlfriend says, or regardless of what what they're showing shows. We don't know what the state's evidence is, though. There could be it could be very damning for him. I think his PR team and his management left after the other women started making allegations against him, and all of that could be legit. Like, it could be that this situation, he didn't do nothing wrong, but he did a whole lot wrong previously, and this opened him up to having all those other things, the situation where he thought he may have gotten off scot-free, but turns out now people got the actual, gumption to go after him, and it's legit. So we don't know, but you have to take every situation independently and different. But like, from here, it's like people saying the imperfect victim. Like, people love to just throw stuff out there without any kind of forethought to what they're actually talking about.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, again, I do believe listen, like, when it comes to situations like this, it's just such a, I had a conversation with some of my coworkers about this, and me and them were going back and forth a little bit, and I was saying to him, what did I say to him? I was like, there have been plenty of cases in which men, like, have openly been abusive towards women, and the woman's come out and, like, she did have a character assassination, and the men just got away with it, right? There's been plenty of cases. And then he was all like, well, there's been a lot of cases about women being abusers, and they're more likely to get away with it. And I was like, yes. Yeah. Yes, they are. You thought I was going to disagree, motherfucker? You thought I was going to say no? Yeah. That's the case. People don't even take female abusers fucking seriously, which is that's so bad. And there's something so
they laugh at the men.
They laugh at the men
for not basically. It's just funny, right? When female abusers get exposed, the traditional response is for everyone to look at the man and say, you're soft, you're a loser, how you let her do that to you, essentially saying you should have beat her ass, which would have then made him an abuser, and then they would have been flipping it and be like, oh, you're a woman beater. It's like, so what is it?
Exactly. And not only just the physical abuse, the rhetoric that surrounds female sexual abusers is disgusting. And
Yeah.
I fucking cannot stand whenever a female abuser gets exposed. I see in the comments, wish she was my teacher when I was her age. And then you ask them like, okay, so what if your son was being sexually abused by her?
Right.
Right, okay, but, people don't take female abusers seriously, so I said to him, like, "Yeah, no, people don't take female abusers seriously, and they are more likely to get away with it, but that doesn't change the fact that there's many male abusers who've gotten away with it for years, man, doesn't change anything, you know what I'm saying? So in
Right.
this instance, I think it's best to continue to wait for more information. There were several apparently, allegedly, there are more women who've come forward who said like, "Okay, no, homeboy is abusive apparently." So we got to wait and see about that and see if there's any credence there or validity there, that is, because here's the thing. When there's smoke, there's fire, baby. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes that's not the case, you know? So you never know. You never really know in these situations, but that is true. If one victim comes forward and you have a history and a pattern of abuse, you better hope that one
Mhm.
victim doesn't come forward, because the rest of them are following right fucking after, man.
Right.
It just takes one. It takes one person to be able to come out and weather that storm of people not believing them, the public backlash, the public abuse, you know what I'm saying? Character
Mhm.
assassination. So I definitely think, and again, we've had this conversation ad nauseum, everybody. I definitely think that if it turns out that she's lying, I hope he fucking sues the fuck out of her, you know? I hope so. But if she's not lying, or if this is a case where it's like she didn't do anything, and in this instance, he's innocent, but there's other people coming back, and it's like there's that thing where it's like he, there are cases where someone's an abuser in one relationship, but they're not an abuser in the next relationship. So when someone comes out and they're like, "Oh, this person abused me," the person they're currently with is like, he's never done that to me, or she's never done that to me. So what are you talking about? They're less likely to
Mhm.
believe it. But
Mhm.
typically speaking, there is a pattern
Right.
of behavior.
Yeah, like with Amber Heard. So what Amber Heard was abusing Johnny Depp, but then basically tried to blackmail him into if you leave me, I want to tell everyone that you were abusing me, which she did. But then they looked at looking into it, her ex-girlfriend was like, no, she was abusive to me too. So it was like, who has a pattern of abuse here? Because Johnny didn't have it, but Amber did. And then, of course, there was the damning part of it was the tapes that he recorded of her admitting her abuse. And it's just like,
That's what swayed me. That's what changed my mind. I was like, "Oh no, she's definitely doing that shit." She
yeah,
admitted it. She said it flat out. No one's gonna believe you. Who's gonna believe you over me? I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So, Eclipse Zip says, I don't want to throw judgment until both sides come out with their full defenses. I agree. Smitty's like, the sad thing is, if he's completely innocent, he's still losing jobs.
yep,
Hope if he can prove without a doubt that he's innocent, he should be fine. He should be able to bounce back from that.
yeah, but he's not getting the stuff that is lost back. More than
That's true.
likely, the roles that he lost and the endorsements that he lost, those companies aren't going to come back because one, especially the endorsements, the companies don't want to. Well, what if he really did do it? And it turns out later on, we brought him back, and then later on we turned out we were wrong.
Yeah,
Or
but
now we
didn't
have to
Disney
admit that we were wrong, and we jumped the gun when we dropped them. They're just gonna stay moving on, it's
there's that, but didn't Disney come out and say, "Hey Johnny, hey Johnny, I see that you won your case against Amber. You want to come back for Pirates?"
he was Pirates though. I mean, he was the
True.
entire show. So it's like they
Yeah.
really can't. I think they do one movie without him. I think.
I don't fucking know. I stopped watching Pirates after maybe the third one.
Yeah, it's just that he is that franchise as Captain Jack. Whereas with the Beast movie with the spinoff of Harry Potter, they replaced him
Oh yeah,
and moved
Fantastic
on.
Beasts.
Yeah,
First of all,
but
those
his
movies,
role
I heard
wasn't
those
as
movies
big.
were trash. So just want
I
to put
heard they
that
were
out there.
trash. I've never watched one, but
Yeah, me either.
but no, no, I think that I don't think Majors is going to get anything back. It sucks because a lot of these companies they have a knee jerk reaction, and we saw what happened with Techland, in the gaming industry with
Mm-hmm. Dying Light.
Avalon. Yeah, like
Chris
they just
Avalon.
dropped him without any investigation, dropped him immediately, and turned out he was completely innocent. But Techland's not going to be calling him up like, "Hey, come on back. Sorry, no hard feelings."
Because I would definitely be like, hell fucking no, I'm not coming back. What do you mean?
Right, and that's part of it too, right? Like, no,
No?
like I'm not coming
Go
back
for
to
my
what
name?
someone else accused me of something, and you drop me again. Like, no, I'm good. So, yeah,
Um, yeah, the company is dropping him or trust trying to protect themselves. Whether the decision to do so is crappy or not, I definitely understand. I understand, man. Anyway, so and then Max also says I'd rather not take a side until I know what happened for sure. I agree. I think, and that's the kind of audience I'm trying to cultivate here is that we should wait for more information here. So unless we hear shit and see shit like irrefutable proof for ourselves, we gotta like keep it fucking pushing, my boys. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And just
right.
wait. We just like there's nothing wrong with waiting because unlike some people, if listen, you're not gonna get me caught up. You're not gonna get me saying crazy shit only for it to turn out I'm complete. Where'd he go?
To be honest, Singer hasn't said a word in 30 minutes. He may have fell asleep and then like his head hit the keyboard and it disconnected. So I
Oh,
don't
okay. All right. Well, I agree.
know.
Late X, I do agree. And they need to get jailed for longer than they need to get jailed for a long fucking time, okay? Because that
Yeah, it
cut that
needs
shit
to
out, man.
be people need to view falsely accusing someone of a felony the way it's like if you actually did that felony, your chances of going to jail. Like they need to view it the same way because I really kind of feel like some of these false allegations, people just think, oh well, if I get turns out it didn't work out, well I took my shot. I shot my shot. It didn't make it. Oh well, I'm gonna move on with my
No,
life.
like you're literally you're ruining some people's lives. You're ruining their lives, ruining their reputation. Like it's like it's a scary thing, man. And it's like some people are like, well, you shouldn't be worried about getting accused unless you're doing stuff. I'm like, no, there have been instances where someone gets accused of that shit and they're not doing anything. So I don't think that anyone who says that they're a little bit worried about being accused of some shit they didn't do, I think that's completely valid.
Yeah, especially if you're someone that's famous in the limelight.
Hmm.
People are looking at you. There are people who are trying to get you. I will always remember this. So this is kind of sports related, Lucas. So I'm pretty sure you're not gonna know who this guy is, but
Are you gonna talk to me about something you've talked to me about before?
I don't know. But there is 102 people watching. So maybe if you've
Okay,
heard it before,
okay,
these
okay.
102 people haven't.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All
Okay.
right. So there was this guy used to play running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. His name is Jerome Bettis. And one time during training camp, a woman came up to him, fine woman, and basically was all over him and everything. She wanted to go out and do something. So I mean, Jerome was like, "Hey, whatever, let's go." He got in his car. She got in the car with him. They drove down the road from the from training camp. She gave him head in his car. Right after that, she goes to police and says Jerome forced himself on me and forced me to do whatever. And he's like, whoa, like when he came back, it was like, no, wait a minute, no, that's not what happened at all. Like he explained the situation. She came at me. I said, whatever, all right, cool. We drove down the street. She gave me here. I went back to practice. Had a great day. I can't remember exactly how they. Oh, now I remember. It was an entire plan that this girl had set up with her own freaking boyfriend. So there were text messages between her and her boyfriend about the whole situation and what they were going to do to set him up.
text messages?
Text
Fucking
messages.
idiot.
Yes, the police, and so that's how the police caught them, because they got the text. They had her phone. They got her phone. She didn't think that was going to happen,
She's so
and
fucking idiot, dude.
and they saw the text messages between her and her boyfriend, and so it all got like, so literally, like, he was a famous football player, but like famous football players aren't nowhere near as famous as actors who are famous all over the world. Like, yeah, you're a target. You're a target for a lot of people who see dollar signs when they see you, and they'll make up stuff. They'll do whatever they can to try to get some money out of you. Stuff happens, man.
Yeah, no, for real though. So yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and so still like text messages, really? Like, oh my god,
I
jump.
know.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is a while ago, so maybe she didn't think that the police would actually like go through her phone.
Fucking
So,
ridiculous, dude.
I know.
All right, let's go ahead and get these gentlemen topics. Shout out to my channel.
Sadly,
members.
Blade X, no, she wasn't.
She wasn't what? Sorry, I didn't.
He asked was she white.
Oh yeah, we're still waiting for the Andrew Tate. Andrew has been fucking sending me these last couple of times I've seen. Okay, anyway, so shout out to Gregor, Cassie, Samurai Black, Spencer, Blue Mustang, Damon, Tevin, H Dog, Derek, Stankmock, Metrotron, Lionel, Meat Puppet, Scrotum, Phil, Mr. Dolo Gaming, DQ's Blizzards, John the Don, Smoke, Strenza, Stardust, Outlaw, Risk It, Stone, Dexflex, Starbuck, Kenny, DC, Shogun, Mike, It's Me Baby, Big Daddy, Smitty, Long Game Larry, Amon, Plus on the Block Podcast, El Huito, Sub Negro, Sir X-Man, Yobi, MJ, Jazzy, Erodimus, and Bandy, Dom, Sir Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Danelle, Brisky, Corey, Light Gamer, J Bari, Arcade Papitio, Nautical, Jet, Brandon, Envy, Jarrell, Someone, Hannibal. Shout out to you guys being members of the channel. Nothing but love and appreciation for all you guys, especially considering the fact that my ass. Let's see here. Not me reading. I'm sorry. I'm like reading this comment where it says, this person's like, it sounds like you're contradicting yourself. You talk about the media persecuting him before all the facts are out, and at the same time, you're disdainful and condemning towards him. Watch your video and listen to yourself, Missy. I'm just gonna be like, you know, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't care, actually. I just said sucks to suck for me, I guess, and I just keep it moving. Okay, anyway, so we can just move on from that. So, yeah, shout out to all the members of the channel, super chat support. Thank you guys. My ass is about to be unfucking-employed, so appreciate all the support because my contract's ending next week. So I will, unfortunately, I need to find a job expeditiously because the last thing I want is to be trapped on Twitter again. Now, some of you may be like, Luca, why don't you just have some self-control? And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have none. Okay, I don't have any self-control. I'm easily bored. Okay, so I'll just pick up Twitter. I'll pick up like my phone and I'll start scrolling. I'll start scrolling through the app, and I end up getting trapped in this cycle. Okay, and I go to Twitter for entertainment when my mind is empty and bored. And I fear for my life. I fear for my mind not having a job to occupy myself because I fear I will fall back into bad habits because Twitter is an addiction that I hold. So fingers crossed for your girl, guys. Let's pray that we get employed expeditiously. All right, because I'm not trying to go back. I'm not trying to go back to where I was last year. Okay. So anyway, Slow-Mo, thanks for coming through.
All right, no problem.
Yes, thank you. Shout out to all you guys. First of all, Gregor, absolutely not. But Luca, yeah, exactly, Lionel. I'm choosing not to be. If I said sucks to suck for me, I guess, and I heard it and I liked the comment, because guess what? I'm 30 now. I can't be arguing with people online. I can't be doing that shit like that. Okay. I can curse people out, but at the end of the day, we got to move on, babes. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm definitely looking at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is definitely looking a little delicioso. So I'll be looking on LinkedIn for it. So anyway, love you guys. Yes, love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. I'll be doing more videos, obviously, because I will got nothing else to fucking do, right? And I guess maybe I'll do something productive with myself as well. Maybe get a certification. Okay, maybe. Babes, like, what's up? Positive energy. Put that positive energy, please. Like, I'm Goku. I need your energy for my spirit bomb. Please raise your hands up and send me your energy, okay? All right. So anyway, shout out to Singer for coming through. And feels like make a catfish account, console ordering for PlayStation, and get them free donos. First of all, great idea. Anyway, we can get out of here. Peace, guys. Thanks for coming through.